they called me and informed me they had found a body of a juvenile female.
The kids were home from school. I spent the day packing up clothes and getting ready for a trip.
How many of those 9 million bags could be like this bag found on Jessica Knott's body?
The 911 tape, obviously a key piece of evidence. Everyone was convinced the person on that tape was the murderer.
That was the worst night of my life.
Jessica Knott's last moments. On a typical Friday before Easter, the quiet neighborhood of Altamont Springs, Florida was thrown into turmoil when 9-year-old Jessica Knott vanished without a trace. Her last moments were innocently spent waiting for her father outside their home, a scene replayed in countless suburban neighborhoods across the country. But for Jessica and her family, this ordinary moment would mark the beginning of a harrowing ordeal. As hours passed with no sign of Jessica, panic spread among her loved ones and the community at large. Frantic searches yielded no result until a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of an anonymous 911 call.
I have a message. Jessica from Los Altos, she's been missing.
That was the worst night of my life.
The 911 tape, obviously a key piece of evidence. Everyone was convinced the person on that tape was the murderer. We couldn't be sure whether it was strangulation or whether it was suffocation because of a hand over the mouth.
A puzzling detail emerged. Remnants of fast food hamburgers lingered in her stomach, a stark reminder of the innocence stolen from her. Further examination of the crime scene uncovered disturbing clues. Items both underneath and atop Jessica's body suggest that she had met her demise at the site where she was found. Drag marks etched into the earth, along with nearby tire tracks, hinted at a sinister conclusion. Jessica had been transported to this desolate location, her life extinguished by unknown hands, leaving behind only questions and shattered hearts. Unraveling the mystery. As the sun set on Altamont Springs, Florida, and Jessica Knott's disappearance remained a haunting mystery, law enforcement officers embarked on a relentless quest for answers. Initial searches, conducted with urgency and hope, yielded nothing but frustration. It was the enigmatic 911 call, a beacon of hope in a sea of uncertainty, that propelled the investigation forward. With a focus now squarely on the anonymous caller who had led them to Jessica's concealed body, investigators faced a daunting task. Tracing the origins of the call proved to be a Herculean challenge, compounded by the absence of immediate leads on the perpetrator's identity. Yet, undeterred by the formidable obstacles before them, they pressed on, driven by a steadfast determination to bring justice to Jessica and closure to her grieving family. Enter microanalyst Ryland and forensic expert Noel Robert, whose meticulous examination of trace evidence found on Jessica's body proved to be instrumental in unraveling the tangled web of deception surrounding her demise. Fibers and animal hairs, seemingly innocuous at first glance, held the key to unlocking the truth hidden within the shadows. But it was a revelation from an unexpected source that provided the breakthrough investigators desperately needed. Jessica's mother, with a mother's intuition honed by love and anguish, recognized the voice on the 911 call as belonging to none other than their neighbor, James Edward Crowe Jr. Armed with this pivotal piece of information, police descended upon the Los Altos complex with a renewed sense of purpose. Thorough searches of Crowe's car and apartment yielded potential clues, each item meticulously scrutinized in the relentless pursuit of justice for Jessica. The neighbor's connection. In the quiet enclave of Altamont Springs, James Edward Crowe Jr., known affectionately as Eddie to his neighbors, cast a shadow of suspicion over the close-knit community. At 34 years old, Crowe lived in close proximity to the Knott family, his presence a familiar sight as he strolled the complex with his faithful companion, Pumpkin, a loyal canine companion. Despite his amiable facade, Crow's circumstances painted a portrait of a man on the fringes of society. Unemployed and seemingly adrift, he relied on the support of his wife.
The kids were home from school. I spent the day packing up clothes and getting ready for a trip.
Is going to be very, very interested in this testimony. Well, you don't get those kind of compliments from judges every day.
She said, I'd like to go downstairs and wait for Dad.
I knew it wasn't going to be a Malamute or, some Alaskan Husky, so I went to short-haired dogs.
How many of those 9 million bags could be like this bag found on Jessica Knott's body?
It was a chilling revelation when Jessica's mother recalled seeing Crow engaged in conversation with her daughter mere moments before her disappearance, a memory now tinged with haunting implications. Despite mounting suspicions and circumstantial evidence, Crow vehemently denied any involvement in Jessica's untimely demise. Yet, his demeanor during police questioning betrayed an undercurrent of unease, his words tinged with a hint of defiance that only served to deepen the shadows cast over him. As the investigation unfolded, Crow's proximity to the tragedy and his enigmatic presence within the community cast him in the spotlight, leaving both investigators and neighbors alike grappling with the unsettling possibility of betrayal lurking beneath the veneer of familiarity. Forensic evidence revealed. In the meticulous process of building the case against James Edward Crow Jr., forensic evidence emerged as a beacon of truth amidst the shadows of uncertainty. Each revelation served to weave a tapestry of guilt around Crow, compelling the forces of justice to close in on their elusive quarry. Forensic analysis, conducted with painstaking precision, yielded damning results. Fibers and dog hairs found on Jessica's body bore an uncanny resemblance to those belonging to Crow and his pet dog, Pumpkin. The undeniable match served as a damning indictment of Crow's involvement in the tragic events that befell the young girl. The connection deepened further as investigators uncovered a crucial piece of the puzzle: a McDonald's Happy Meal bag discovered in Crow's car. Its contents, remnants of hamburgers, mirrored the fast food found in Jessica's stomach during the autopsy. The eerie parallels struck a chord of dread, underscoring the chilling proximity between Crow and the victim. Yet, perhaps the most incriminating revelation came in the form of Crow's actions in the aftermath of Jessica's slaying. The abrupt replacement of his truck tires, a suspicious maneuver undertaken shortly after the tragic events unfolded, raised eyebrows and aroused suspicion. It was a subtle but telling sign of guilt, a desperate attempt to erase any lingering traces of his involvement in the heinous crime. And finally, as investigators combed through Crow's apartment with a fine-tooth comb, their efforts unearthed a chilling link to the crime scene: plastic garbage bags identical to the one that had partially covered Jessica's lifeless body. The stark similarity served as a stark reminder of the sinister bond between Crow and the scene of the crime. With each piece of forensic evidence meticulously pieced together, the case against James Edward Crow Jr. grew stronger, inching closer to delivering the justice that Jessica Knott and her grieving loved ones so desperately deserved. The crucial 911 call. In the labyrinth of evidence surrounding Jessica Knott's tragic demise, the 911 call emerged as a pivotal clue in the quest for justice. Made from a public telephone at a gas station, the call was shrouded in mystery, its origins veiled by layers of static and background noise. Yet, undeterred by the cacophony of distractions, forensic experts embarked on a painstaking journey to uncover the truth hidden within the echoes of despair. With the assistance of NASA's cutting-edge technology, the background noise that had obscured the call's clarity was stripped away, revealing a clear, more defined audio landscape. Dr. Harry Holland, a seasoned forensic audio analyst, took up the mantle of deciphering the enigmatic voice that had shattered the silence of the night. In a meticulous process of comparison,
It was starting to get dark, and he said, "Where's Jessica?" I said, "Didn't you see her?"
20 and 30 years ago, and it pretty much cut to the core of what happened.
There are a huge number of garbage bags produced, typically on the order of 9.5 million bags in 1 month time.
And possibly the man downstairs, too.
They called me and informed me they had found a body of a juvenile female.
Dr. Holland's analysis, a culmination of scientific rigor and unwavering dedication, provided further validation. With a 90% match to Crow's voice, the forensic evidence left little room for doubt. It was a moment of vindication for the Knott family, a beacon of hope amidst the shadows of uncertainty. Conviction and closure. In a courtroom suffused with tension and emotion, the wheels of justice turned inexorably towards closure for Jessica Knott and her grieving family. James Edward Crow Jr., the shadow that had haunted the community with fear and suspicion, faced the full weight of accountability as he was formally charged with the slaying of the innocent 9-year-old girl. In a stunning turn of events, Crow opted to plead no contest to the charge of second-degree slaying, a decision that would see him sentenced to 40 years behind bars. It was a moment of reckoning, as the perpetrator of unspeakable cruelty confronted the consequences of his actions. The conviction sent ripples of relief cascading through the Knott family and the community at large, offering a glimmer of closure amidst the darkness of tragedy. Yet, even as justice was served, the scars left by Jessica's untimely demise lingered, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of loss. For Jessica's parents, the verdict offered a measure of solace in the midst of their profound grief. Though their hearts bore the heavy burden of the loss, they found strength in the knowledge that their daughter's memory would be honored through the pursuit of justice. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.